Hey guys, Noah's Gaming PCs with another very interesting video. If you don't mind, I tried to, obviously this graphics card, the RX 6650 XT, doesn't fit in this little Dell Optiplex, but what we got here is a Dell Optiplex with an i5-6500 CPU with the one of my favorite budget, super low budget, the RX 460. Requires no power supply. So I'm doing a test. Guess what? We're doing STARFIELD. So look at that. Look at that. It runs. And again, don't you mind that this is a RAM wise. We're talking about 8 gigabytes of RAM. The recommendation or the minimum is 16 gigabytes. So this is just proof that you can play STARFIELD on a setup that is way below the minimum specs that they require. So don't be bullied or intimidated by these big developers that say, "Hey, you got to upgrade your hardware." Again, the playability, that's one. That's another thing aside, right? But we're getting about 30 FPS. Let me see. Let me show you the settings here. Settings, display. So obviously we're on all those low settings. We're doing 1080p. All those settings. This is a AMD, so it has upscaling, a RSF2. So there we go. Let's just move around a little bit in the world. You can see based on the MSI Afterburner FPS stats, the GPU is maxed out, and now I can't move. Oh, there we go. There was a huge stutter there for a moment. I couldn't move around, but obviously the bottleneck here is the GPU, and you see now it says 0% utilization. The GPU is really under big stress here. Obviously, you need a better graphics card, but the CPU is doing pretty well. Look at that; it's about half. Now, if I were to record this off of the CPU like I normally do my videos, the game crashes. The CPU needs to be fully dedicated to this game for it to be somewhat playable. Again, we're looking at 20 something FPS, low settings. I'm gonna move my character around the world a little bit, but you can see the GPU goes from 100 down to 0 utilization. So the bottleneck is definitely the GPU. Let me move around again. I am playing this with one hand here, and my other hand is holding up my smartphone for you guys to record. But just to show you guys, you can definitely play STARFIELD. I think maybe part of the problem here is obviously the RAM. If I had like 8 gigabytes of RAM more, it would be a little bit better. But goes to show the CPU is, this is a CPU intensive game. But you can see, I'm gonna move around, and it just stuttered there. Oh, and then we actually crashed. We crashed the game. But there you go, guys. Wanted to show you. I think the limitations mostly are the graphics card. The CPU is fine. You can see now we've crashed the game. Obviously not playable, but I always wanted to do something like this to prove to you guys you don't need the most powerful CPU out there. Again, this is the i5, and you guys, when I do my videos, I have no reason to lie to you guys. I know other people do lie about their FPS stats and what they're really running. So you can see here, I have an i5-6500. So I think this CPU can handle STARFIELD. It's just the graphics card that it keeps on crashing. Again, this is a RX 460. I'm going to show you guys some other cards that you can play the game without it crashing. And again, this only has 8 gigabytes of RAM, as shown there. So there you go, guys. You can run the game, but eventually it crashes if you have a low-end card. Obviously, you want to stick to recommendations that STARFIELD recommends that you have, but you don't really need to go with the latest and greatest. You can go below sub CPU, what they minimum required, and you can actually play. But I am planning on doing some recordings where I'm going to show you guys that you can play on lower end hardware this game, provided you have enough RAM and a much more decent GPU than what I'm using here. But that's it for this video, guys. Just wanted to show you some proof of concept here. Obviously, it's not playable. The RX 460 cannot handle STARFIELD. The CPU, this i5-6500, can handle it perfectly fine in my opinion. And that's it, guys. That's it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to do more benchmark FPS for you guys. Again, this is Noah's Gaming PCs. Check me out at noahsgamingpcs.com to find some very good gaming PCs at affordable prices. Again, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace and goodbye.